Good morning, my name is Mika Hamilton and I have done my state report over Wisconsin. So why I chose this state was because it is my home state. I am from Wisconsin, so I love cheese and I'm a definite Badger fan. It could be a possible future location for me and my husband, so I would like to take the steps accordingly to make sure that I prioritize if I have to do specific licensures or if I have to do something different in order to get my license in Wisconsin if we do end up living there in the future. Also, for my peers in Wisconsin, if anybody wants to get into the dental hygiene program out in Wisconsin, I would like to be at least an advocate that they could kind of rely on and just get information from about that licensure out there. Also, I do have a couple friends in the dental hygiene program in there currently, so it's kind of nice to just hear their point of view as relation to ours in North Carolina. And also just general knowledge, so it's always great to learn more about different states' licensure requirements, so I figured why not know about my own home state. So the clinical exam name is credits, and that is the Central Regional Dental Testing Score, and this needs to be taken within 5 years. The criteria for initial licensure, that is to fill out the application and provide the specific fee that is needed. Also, regional dental testing service scorecards, so that is for whatever region your clinical exam is for, so that's like credits or other clinical exams that I'll show you throughout this PowerPoint. Also, the national board scorecard, so that's your national board that you have to take, it's your written board. The National Practitioner Data Bank report, but that's not required for new graduates. A certificate of professional education, so that is to be able to graduate from an accredited program in order to gain your licensure. Also, your current CPR and AED certificate. The letters from all state boards where you were licensed, if it's active or inactive. So if you were licensed in any other state, you have to give them that information about what states you were licensed in, and then also if you're active or inactive in those states. Also, the Wisconsin Statutes and Rules examination, and that's online, and that's a test that you do online. That's usually another fee. Any convictions and pending charges if applicable, so this is really anything that you've been charged with that could be considered something big to them that you have to give them that information about. And also malpractice suits or claims that you have been involved in the past, and you have to provide those copies for them. So these are the alternative clinical license. So there's a picture over there to the right or your left, depending on this video. But WREB, so this is a Western Regional Examining Board that is able to be accepted in Wisconsin. Also CDCA, which is Commission on Dental Competency Assessments. SRTA, which is Southeastern Regional Testing Authority. ADEX, which is the American Board of Dental Examiners. CETA, which is the Council of Interstate Testing Agencies. So all of these are different clinical licensure boards that you are able to take in order to get your requirements in your license in Wisconsin. So the fees, so it is $74 for the initial credential fee. It's also $75 for the state laws exam in Wisconsin. So overall, it's about $149 in order to be included with your application. Also, if you're a veteran, you can seek a veteran fee waiver, which is really awesome for any veterans out there. So I love that Wisconsin really supports that. Also, these fees don't include the clinical board that you choose or your national board, and also depending on how many times you have to take those. Obviously, praying for one time. And also these payments can be made out by a check or a money order, and they're payable to the Department of Safety and Professional Services. So the requirements to retain or renew your license. So your fees need to be paid, and the renewal dates are October 1st of each odd numbered year. Your current CPR and AED certification need to be included. You need to complete 12 credit hours related to the clinical practice of dental hygiene or the practice of medicine. So no more than 2 credit hours can satisfy the CPR and AED requirement. The infection control requirement can be no less than 2 of the credit hours that are required. Credit hours completed before the 2-year period immediately preceding renewal of a license to practice. So that's something that you just kind of have to remember. And also, the board can waive the continuing education requirements if there is an exceptional illness, disability, or other similar circumstances. So you just have to give them that information and the documentation for that, and they could waive those continuing education requirements for you. Also, to administer local anesthesia, you need to show them that you've completed that actual course. That course needs to provide a minimum of 21 hours of instruction and also a minimum of 10 hours of didactic instruction as well. So here's the scope of practice, just kind of the differences or something that popped out to me. So legally in Wisconsin, you are allowed to administer local anesthesia. You just have to go through those courses and get those credentials. Also, that can be under indirect supervision in order to administer your local anesthesia. And also something that popped out to me was that the dental hygiene treatment plans that you can make within your scope of practice, but you're able to treatment plan for the services for each patient. And then also in Wisconsin, the overall supervision is general and indirect. So overall, the average salary, there's a couple different levels. It just depends on if you are just recently getting into the dental hygiene area of practice, or if you've been an experienced dental hygienist. So entry level is about $52,300. If you're in your mid-career, it's about $61,790. And then if you're an experienced RDH, it's about $66,530. So pretty good out there. And that is Wisconsin State Board.